Hey guys, it's CarGuy11. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight we're doing another CarGuy11 live where we talk about the most exciting car news of the week, and of course, where I get to talk to you guys. So hopefully we'll get some good participation, and be sure to tune in and subscribe to Instagram or Facebook, where you'll see if I'm going to host a live stream this week. And usually they're on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I try to do them weekly, but one of the things I wanted to talk about this week is I'm not going to be able to do them weekly in the summer. And it probably goes with the same more activities, car events, even in the summer. So I have my work schedule is we work later during the summer, and due to the more daylight, so I am not going to be able to do them every week. But definitely stay tuned. Like I said, on Instagram, CarGuy_11, Facebook, it's CarGuy11, YouTube. And I will post in a story, most likely in a story, if I'm going to have one that week. Also, you can, I post the live stream thumbnail usually the day before, or at least the morning of, and you can see there. Be sure to turn on notifications, and then you also get a email saying the live stream is about to start, and you can participate there as well. So speaking of that, hey, we have Dan in New Jersey. Hey Dan, thanks for joining us tonight. And then let me just review. I didn't have one last week, but let me review the past couple weeks videos. So the last one, we talked a little bit about C7 track days, and actually I'd like to get into that more. I didn't talk about that too much, but we went over the tire situation, and we can talk more details. I know I got some questions. People DM'd me and got some questions on the videos too, so we could talk a little bit more about that. Tonight I don't have a ton of stories, so it is pretty open as far as what we want to talk about. But the last, the video 2 weeks ago, actually, now I drove a pro-charged C7 Z51 Stingray, which was real fun. It was a subscriber from Maryland. He came up and had me drive his car. So we did we also did a side-by-side 30-mile-per-hour pull, and of course his was faster, but it was a pretty cool video. If you have not checked that out, definitely check that one out. And then last week's video, talking about the new high performance package on the 2020 Mustang EcoBoost. So this is going to be basically the Focus RS's engine in the Mustang now, and a little bit more power. But I was wanting to know if any one of you guys would consider a 4-cylinder Mustang. That's the big question on this video. It is a nice package, but is it viable? Are people interested in something like that? So lots to talk about, little bit of different stuff tonight, and yeah, it'll be really up to you guys. Hey HD, how's it going? Thanks for joining us tonight. But to go back on tracking a C7, just some of the questions I've gotten. Do you need to change out the oil to 15W50 as it says in the manual? What I do, what I would say is no. unless you're a professional driver and you're ringing it out 100%, you don't need to do that. My oil temperatures never get above 250. If you're reaching close to 300, I would say yes, you should do that. But again, I know one of the subscribers asked me, and they have a Grand Sport, and they are not reaching. They're under 260, and asked me if they needed to change out, and I would say no, because technically they want you to change it to the 1550, then change it back to the 5W30. So that's pretty ridiculous for one track night. Now, the 2019s do come factory filled with 5W40, and that is supposed to be good for track and street use. So that is a nice compromise. If you are having issues, you might want to change that. Now, the Z06s do tend to overheat more, and it might be a good idea for the Z06s to either do that 0W40 or the 5W50. I know my buddy Greg has a Z06, and he does get pretty hot, and actually it goes into limp mode sometimes when he's on the track. So Z06 is a different story, but the LT1 engine, you should be okay with the 5W30 or maybe the 0W40 if you're having a little bit of issues. So that's that topic. And anything else, please go ahead and either comment, or if you're watching this back, go ahead and ask or DM me. I always answer DMs when I can, and a lot of people do that. Another thing on track is your stability modes. You really want to be in a competition mode, which is 2 clicks of the traction control button, or if you have MagRide, a PTM mode. The Sport 1 would be preferable. And the reason being, if you're not in one of those competition modes, your rear brakes are going to be activating to keep your car in line, and it's going to wear them out. It's going to wear your rear brakes out. I haven't had zero issues with my rear brakes, but I've heard people wearing out rear brakes on C7s, and I'm like, why? And I believe that is the problem. They're keeping their stability control fully on, and it's just super conservative, and it will engage a lot on track if you do not have it in a competition mode. So be sure to run on the track in Sport 1 or competition mode, and it gives you some leeway, but it still will catch you. So don't worry about you're going to be spinning out. If you're that out of whack, it will step in. And I have a lot of experience with that. It has stepped in certain times, and I have never, knock on wood, gone off track. So that's what I would run. Hey, Tech, thanks for joining us tonight. Glad to see you. And Tech has a Grand Sport, which I reviewed last year or 2 years ago at this point. And we're going to try to get him on the track here soon. But yeah, so those are the things that come to mind on track with the C7 that I didn't get to the last episode. But yeah, if anything else, we talked a lot about tires the last episode, and I still believe the stock Michelin Pilot Super Sports that come standard on the Corvettes are probably your best bet. The best performance on road and track. Now, the ones I have now, the 4S's, are a little better on road, not as good on track. So it's, but they do wear a little better. So if you're one way or the other, that's your choices. The Cup 2s really don't come in in a Stingray size, at least for me. But if you have a Grand Sport, you could go up to the Cup 2s as well if you're really interested in improving those lap times further. But speaking of C7, let's go to the next. The final allotment of C7s are available now. You have to order by June 23rd. So basically in the next couple of weeks, if you want a final C7. Now there'll be plenty on dealer lots as far as stock. But yeah, that's it. That's it for C7. It was a good run. I think it was very successful. The best Corvette ever. We'll see if the C8 eclipses it. It should, but yeah, the last front engine, probably the last manual. And what do you guys think of that? If you want the last front engine manual Corvette though, and you want it custom ordered, you gotta act quick. So HD says, that's true. I spoke with someone from Michelin at the Detroit Grand Prix. Oh, cool. Yeah. I heard about the event up there. I don't know if you talked to Lee Willard, who I've talked to at Michelin at the Detroit Auto Show. And yeah, that's what he said as well. I do keep in touch with him. I sent him my track video where I was 5 seconds slower with the Michelin Pilot 4S's compared to the Super Sports. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know if Michelin's coming up with something else for the C8 as far as a new version. Maybe they'll do a Corvette version of the 4S for the C8. We don't know anything like that yet. But the C8's getting close. July 21st, I believe, is the reveal date. And unfortunately, I am not going to that. But of course, it'll be live streamed, and we'll be sure to have a live stream. July 18th, sorry, Steve. Thank you for correcting me. I was just Googling that because I thought that might be wrong. So, yep, July 18th. I'll bring up the little pic here, and yeah, I don't know. Are you guys excited for the C8, or are you guys waiting with reservation? I still have to see it. I'm not 100% sold just yet. So yeah, but I am excited to see it. I can't wait. Been a long time coming. Dan says, I wonder whether there will be aftermarket manual conversions for the C8. Sure to be enormously costly if there is. Yeah, my guess is it won't fit easily, especially with the mid-engine. You're going to have a lot of packaging nightmares there. So probably no. But if it's a true dual clutch fast shifting, then it will probably be cool. I'm not opposed to a dual clutch because they are super quick, and I've driven a Porsche PDK and I loved it. So HD says no VIP pass. No, unfortunately, I'm kind of upset. Although it's all the way in Orange County near LA, so it would be a expensive trip to go out there. So Steve says going to buy one, but not the first year run. And he also says, looking forward to the DCT. Yeah, that's a good point, Dan, or Steve. I I'm not sure the reliability the first year as well. The new platform, new or updated engines, and new trans. The trans surely will be tweaked with updates and things like that. So yeah, we'll have to see. CarGuy11's with us. Thanks for watching. Hard to tell what it will look like. I'm not so sure if I will like it or not. Yeah, I can't wait to see it uncamouflaged. I'm also not thrilled about the front end, and I really have to see what they're doing with that front end. I don't like that wide opening, but we'll see. Chuck is with us. Might get one, but will be Z06 version when it's out. Thanks for joining us, Chuck. And Chuck has the Pro Charged C7 that I reviewed. So yes, especially now with his Pro Charger going down in power, probably be he would miss that power. So yeah, you probably have to wait for the Z06. And actually, I was thinking that myself, maybe waiting for that Z06. Although I love the push rod low end torque that the base Stingray version of the C8 will probably have still. Probably going to have an updated LT2 engine, which will be 500 horsepower. So the only thing is, I think it's going to go up in weight as well. So it's probably going to balance out as far. It'll probably meet or maybe be a tiny bit faster. Well, it'll be faster because of DCT, but it will still maintain that low end torque. With the Z06, it's probably going to be the dual overhead cam, maybe turbo, which will have some boost threshold, turbo lag. So yeah, and we're definitely not going to know what the Z06 is at this reveal on July 18th. We'll just be finding out about this base engine, base model, and we may even not know the power. Hopefully they'll confirm DCT, or if an manual's available, and maybe they'll confirm what engine's in it, the LT2 most likely, but they're probably not going to give power numbers at this point, if I had to guess. Tech says, I can't wait to see it. I just may have to trade in the GS. Yeah. Be a lot of C7s on the market probably. Although the C8's probably going to be hard to get the first year like C7 was. Basically, you couldn't get it. I am on a list of a few dealers for a C8, but again, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. HD said he's still on the fence. Dan in New Jersey. Truthfully, I'll probably wait 2 more years and try to grab a Z06 C7. Can't bear to give up the manual. Yeah, yeah, C7s even now are pretty cheap, and you know, you can get a large amount off, 20% or so off sticker, and probably even, yeah, being used be even more affordable once the C8 comes out. Although when I remember when the C7 came out, the used C6s were maintaining value because you couldn't get a C7. So it may take a couple years until there's enough supply of C8s for the C7s to come down. CarGuy11 says, sad to see the manual go too, since I finally learned how to drive one. Yeah, and if you guys didn't see that video, she did drive mine in a parking lot. We did one lesson. Yeah, props to her for wanting to try and learn. It's a difficult manual, and it's funny because I drove well, I'll reveal Saturday's new video. I drove an M2 competition manual, and after driving that, I got back in my C7 and I stalled it. because the clutch is so tough on the C7 compared to being so light on other cars, including that one. But yeah, stay tuned for Saturday's video on that car. Tech says, do you remember how different the C7 looked from the camo version to the final product? Was it close to the final C7 or way different looking? Honestly, Tech, I don't remember because I didn't follow it that closely at that time. And if OG subscribers remember, I was getting the Mustang at that time. So I was all into Mustang. I got the new 2015, the S560 Mustang, brand new design when that came out. So I wasn't following it that closely. Of course, I saw the reveal. I really liked it, the C7 on the reveal day, and actually the price I thought was reasonable. And but I decided to go with Mustang at that point because I figured I'd just get a Corvette later in life. And my Mustang experience was cut very short. I only had it 8 days, got hit by a drunk driver, flipped the car, totaled it, and then I was like, that's it, life's too short. I'm getting the C7. And then I couldn't get one. I couldn't get the C7 right away. Well, it was winter, and then I had problems with the allocations for ordering exactly what I wanted. Ended up being 2016 that I got, one of the first 2016s. I got it very early in August of 2015. So yeah, Dan says you switched awfully quick to the Corvette after the accident. Yeah, you're right. I just couldn't get another Mustang. I didn't feel that I didn't want that same car. I still like Mustang, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't, I didn't want the same car after that. So, but speaking of sports cars this summer, besides the C8, as you guys know, and especially as Chuck knows, Supra is coming out, and I don't know. I like this car for some reason. I like the size of it. This is an article comparing the Supra to the Cayman, which I also love. There's a lot happening in July, so Supra should be hitting dealers in July, and I'd love to drive one, although they're very difficult to find. I actually stopped at a couple dealers. They're only getting like 1 or 2, and they're sold already. So I think they're going to be pretty limited this first summer at least. But I don't know. I do like the styling, although it's a little bit I don't love the fake vents, but I can get over that. But also Cayman GT4, this is not a GT4, should be revealed at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in London on, I believe it's July 4th. So I'm really interested in that car, but Supra is like half the price. And yeah, I don't know. I like the smaller sports cars. Also, I drove, like I said, an M2 competition, and you'll see that review on Saturday at 9 a.m. Chuck says dealers have the allocations assigned to and will be and they will be in a lot at less than a month. Okay, can't wait to embarrass a Supra at a stoplight. Oh yeah, and Dan says that. Look at this too. The power is not. It's way underrated. Okay, many car and driver tested it. I think Motor Trend tested it. in actuality, BMW does this a lot. Everybody knows it's a BMW 3-liter 6. Um, it is actually close to 400 horsepower. And the 0 to 60 is like 4 seconds. So it's basically as fast as a C7 Stingray out of the gate, manual anyway. Of course, this is auto only, and that's why they're getting it in that fast, and also launch control and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it'd be a cool car, especially if they make a little bit more powerful version and a track version with a manual. Even if it isn't a manual, then it may make a fun daily driver as well. But yeah, I like the Cayman as well. I don't like the 4-cylinder they put in it, and I want to see what the GT4 has in it. Of course, the cost of the GT4 I don't love, but it should hold its value more. So yeah, so there's a lot of options this summer now. GT4, Supra, C8. So unfortunately, there's nothing available right now, and my C7's getting almost 4 years old now. My daily's it's almost 5 years old, so I'm kind of itching to get something, to be honest with you. HE says still looks like a beat BMW to me. Steve says if they put a Chevy engine in it, it might be okay. Yeah, V8 would be awesome in it. I don't think it'll fit. And HD, I agree. I like small sports cars. That's the problem with the C8. I feel like it may be growing, and I really like something more nimble and something solid. I love the BMW. The M2 I drove was very solid feeling. And I like that the Supra has a hardtop. I like the Cayman hardtop. And they're very solid feeling cars. Now the Cayman is lighter as well, a lot lighter. So that's the other thing going for it. But speaking of daily drivers, I mean, just to talk a little bit more, we're getting to a half hour here. They did show or captured some spy footage of the next Grand Cherokee. 2021, no, geez. I mean, this Grand Cherokee's so old, the current generation. And not till 2021 looks like we're getting a new one. They're saying it's probably going to be built off the Stelvio platform, which is the Alfa Romeo's Giorgio platform, which will be great, rear-wheel drive, lighter. But they're going to have to beef it up a bit to be off-road capable. So that's an option. I still am interested in the new Bronco, although I think it's going to be a little bit too Wrangler-like in a bad way, meaning it's not going to be on-road, good on-road. I'd like to see there's supposed to be a smaller baby Bronco 2 I may be interested in. Yeah, nothing right now, though. Dan says, I hope it's better than the Nissan 370Z, which I think is an embarrassment. Oh, yeah. The Supra is going to be better than that. I love to drive one. So, Chuck, I asked Chuck because he works for Toyota. He gets one that I could drive, that I'll make a trip out just to drive it. Steve says my daily driver is CT6 Caddy all-wheel drive. Oh yeah, Steve, do you have the Super Cruise? That's what I would like to know, because they did make an update to Super Cruise, and I think you have to go to the dealer to get it updated, but you're going to be able to drive on more roads, and you'll have the map. The map is updated because it does use a map. Oh, and just he says no, I didn't want it. I think it's cool. Some of you know I work for Uber Autonomous Vehicles, and I'll show this as the last story. They were all over the news today because Volvo and Uber co-designing a Volvo XC90 with basically built-in autonomous tech. Besides for the stack up at the top, it has backup braking, steering, gas. So it's fully set up on the Volvo architecture for backup systems. So pretty cool. I did get to see, this is the 2020 refreshed XC90. I saw it in person at work, and it has that concave grille, which is different. That's the main change, I think, for the 2020s, and some other small changes, but basically that's the visual difference. I think it looks pretty cool. But I do my next daily driver, I really do want the autonomous tech, whatever it has, the adaptive cruise with the lane keep. They keep getting better and better. I will want to play with that. I'll definitely want to make videos with it. So whatever vehicle I get, I do want it to have all of those features for my next daily driver. And actually, that Supra has all of that. That's why I was thinking, wait, that might be a cool daily, just a fun daily, put it that way. Chuck says, I might have a launch edition soon. I would be able to borrow it and we'll keep you informed. Sweet, that'd be awesome. And Steve said, looks like a police vehicle. I would brake for it. You will have to watch out for Tesla. Yeah, I don't want Tesla at this point. For several reasons, but I don't necessarily want an electric vehicle. I think there's plenty of time for that, and it's just going to get better and better. Also, I think their autonomous tech isn't as good as it's played out to be, put it that way. So, but anyway, guys, I think we're going to end it here. Like I said, I won't be able to have these live streams every week, especially in the summer due to work and vacations and stuff like that. But definitely stay tuned on Instagram and Facebook for when I am having them. Oh, also, I'd love to keep test driving more cars and your cars. So if anybody has any vehicles that you want me to feature on the channel, definitely DM me, and we could make that happen. Again, I'm in the Pittsburgh area. So that should be fun. I have a couple more planned for this summer. And again, one you'll be seeing on Saturday's videos, the M2 competition. So, all right, guys, hope you have a great week. And until the next time, we'll see you later. Take care.